Hello and welcome back to Hit or Glitch. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Tim.
And I'm Scott.
This is the GM Corner where we give advice on running your game. Every episode we'll pull a suggestion from the tome of topics and discuss it. If you have a question, write it below and we will add it to the tome. This week
we've got... I should probably mix them up a little bit better than that. Otherwise we're just going to get one person's or something maybe.
I tried to shuffle them.
Okay. This week we've got... How do you organize game night?
So,
How do you organize game night? Well, I'm a college student, and going with college students, I ask, when's everybody available? When do you get out of class? When do you have work? And then just try to figure out a time when we all have a couple hours to play. Luckily, I have a group where right now we're able to do Mondays from 3 till whenever we want to stop.
and are you guys in a dorm or a library, common room?
Yeah, we're in a library. Well, it's a toss-up between the library and the cafeteria in the corner in the back, where it's quieter.
The best way to recruit players and find games. One of them.
Yep. Syncing a schedule is definitely step one.
Yeah.
Syncing the schedule, making sure everyone can show up. But then, if it's going to be... Next, I guess, is deciding the location. It's going to be my house. It's going to be a cafeteria, a game shop, and, where you're going to meet. Then you've got to determine snacks.
Or food.
Or dinner,
How you're going to eat, where you're going to eat, when you're going to eat.
Yep. Which leads me to my suggestion on this. And it's how I've been doing it for years now, which is 1 up to 3 nights. It's gotten as high as 3 nights, I think, a week where I have people over to the game. And it's $5 a person, and I do all the cooking. I buy the soda.
It's very good.
It is.
It was easier that way, and it's cheaper than going to a fast food restaurant. You could order off the dollar menu somewhere, but
You're ordering off the dollar menu somewhere.
Exactly. And $5 a person, you can make basically anything and everything.
Mm-hmm.
There are some weeks, some nights where I'm making spaghetti, which is very cheap per person.
Mm-hmm.
But then I change it up with, I'll do a Sunday roast. I've done the whole Thanksgiving dinners before.
Ooh, I remember that. That was good. Should not be doing this while hungry.
So yeah, that's my big contribution to the logistics of game night. Is no one can really afford to feed 5, 7, 9 people, however big your gaming group is, on a weekly basis. And for a while, for a very short period of time, we had 2 other people who liked to cook that I played with. And we basically switched off weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Which was kind of nice because that gave you a break.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a group of people who all like to cook or all like to eat a specific thing all the time, then maybe potlucking is the way to do it.
Yeah, potluck, the $5, plate.
So yeah, really, it comes down to first you just have to find out when everybody's available. Then from there you have to work together to figure out when you're gonna eat, how you're gonna eat, if you're gonna cook, who's gonna cook.
Because let's be honest, outside of the rule book and dice, food is the most important part of game night.
Yes, it is.
Yep. We want to break bread with each other. Breaking bread with each other forms a community, and if there's anything that this game has done, it's build communities.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think I could game without food.
No, I don't think. I mean,
it's a long time.
even if it's just like chips and salsa
Yeah.
and sodas,
Yeah.
You've got to have some kind of snacks,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
at minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anywhere from the light snacks like that where everyone, brings some stuff to pitching in the $5 and having a home cooked meal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The other problem is organizing your players when they're trying to have conversations that don't have to do with the game at all.
Ah.
That I
Yes.
think is an entirely different topic session, and that's going to deal with both DMs, GMs keeping their people in line, but player etiquette.
Yeah. Well, I guess in some ways it could. It does
It's an
tangentially,
overlap.
and I'll
but-
say this for it: setting the proscenium is the most important thing in regards to that, vis-a-vis the organization of game night.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is, by a proscenium, the proscenium is the part of the stage when you go to a theater that basically the curtain comes out in front of.
Mm-hmm.
It is the world that is built by the theater company for you to inhabit. So when I say that in context of gaming, when you build the proscenium of game night, music, some people like lighting, some people costumes. Matt Mercer tells the story the first time he got everyone together that plays in Critical Role for Liam's birthday party, or Liam and Laura's birthday. He came dressed in a robe and the whole shebang and had like fog, and it freaked some people out.
I bet, especially the ones who had never played before. that
Exactly.
night.
Exactly. So, and that's just playing music has a huge impact
Mhm.
on cross-table talk.
Yeah.
Because one of the primary reasons it happens is because there's a silence. And people want to fill that silence. But if you have music, there's not a psychological need to fill that silence.
Mm.
So it delays the start of those conversations long enough that they never start.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's my tip for you guys. That's the biggest one. And we don't really play music here on the podcast because recording a podcast focuses you in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even more than music can stop that crosstalk. So we don't have a lot of it on the show.
I don't think we have any music at all.
No. And when we get together at my house, his house, wherever, we definitely have more crosstalk.
Mm-hmm.
As the GM, well, that gets more into how to nip it in the bud, so I don't think that's
Well,
cogent here.
and mine is kind of like that too, but as a GM and part of your organization of the game night, when I GM, like at my house, what I like to do is kind of maybe set aside, and we've done it at your house, where we set aside the dinner before we actually get into the game, so that we can have. Because for some people, that's the only chance outside of work that they get to see each other. So it's natural to want to catch up.
Yeah.
To discuss because
it's
like
time
you said,
to hang out.
It's community.
Yeah.
You know, so keep that in mind, and so organize maybe a gathering time where you can, you know, talk and catch up.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, going back to the Critical Role example, they talk, they joke, they make their announcements, and now let's get into tonight's episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
That goes a long way. Letting them get it out of their system at the beginning goes a long way towards nipping it in the bud as well.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
I think that's all I got on this, without going off on tangents.
Without going into a new TM corner.
We hit the central part of the web. We don't want to go off on any of the crosshairs.
Exactly. All right, so join us next time when we talk about something else from the Tome of Topics.
Dun dun dun.
Maybe your topic.